Hello and welcome to the second episode of Dr. Softly's Ghost. This time, Dr. Softly continues his quest to avenge his debt against the traitorous scum who took him down, while at the same time taking care of his ward, the lovely Lady Rose, a blue, stretched-out Smurf Kia seat lady. Tonight, their adventure takes them to the disfigured but ever so charming and debonair Mr. Silas Seneschal of New York. Rose is waiting with now able to see Dr. Softly. She somehow managed to. She's never done this with a ghost before, but I suppose there's some kind of a bond allowing them to. And she waits for Mr. Silas's arrival.
Yeah. Rose will stand up as she hears the knocking and walks to the door. But first,
Chunk says, 1 second. Sorry, not Chunk. Dr. Softly sticks his head through the door. He comes back. Yeah, that's him.
how sure are you?
It looks like him. And I'm a ghost.
Exactly. It looks like him.
Well, he could be vicissituted. Go by all means, go about your other ways, but I don't see if I could do it.
It's fine. She'll activate Mytheria. She'll Mytheria 1. She'll activate Obfuscate 2, and she will throw. I'm not even gonna roll for this. A Shadow Shroud before opening the door. As the door opens in front of Mr. Silas, you will see nothing but darkness. And behind that, you can hear Rose's voice. She says, "Walk in, please."
As he does so, and takes off his hat as he enters the building. Manners, etiquette, all of that.
Awesome. As soon as you're well into the darkness, Rose will just ask, "Okay, please, can you tell me what is your name?"
Rose, you know I call myself Mr. Silas. I use that. I'm not going to tell you my real name. Not many people have earned that honor just yet.
Well enough. What is your function within the Camarilla?
I'm the current seneschal of New York City.
Rose is probably going to be a bit distracted stage with Dr. Softly just testing things out in his new form. He's still taking it pretty well, aside from shouting at demons for, not being lazy. So she's probably going to be distracted as Dr. Softly's kind of putting his hand through Mr. Silas's chest and almost as like smile of his lips.
Okay, final question. Are you loyal to the Camarilla?
Yes.
And with that, Rose will let the Shadow Shroud disappear and she'll come out of Obfuscate.
Nice little security measures that you got going there.
I'm sorry, I'm just...
No,
cautious.
by all means, especially in these nights, like I told you in that message I sent down. Secure up, hunker down, make sure that you're looked after.
Even that is, at this point, not that big of an issue. We have some things to talk about. Would you mind following me?
By all means.
She'll invite him up the stairs into the room that she usually uses for meetings, and you will see that everything is prepared. There are glasses, there is a pitcher which is filled with a red liquid, which you will probably recognize as Vitae. And there is even a small dish with a few cookies and stuff like that, just in case that you happen to have to eat food merit. Which
I really wish I did. Occasionally I spend the blood points.
And she will just gesture to one of the dark brown leather seats. She says, "Well, please take a seat and welcome in my library."
Yeah, he'll take a seat and move his glass into the drink formation.
So, would you like something to drink?
Yeah, I'm pulling out all my etiquette score here of just like Do you have like specific places that you put glasses on the table if your guests like a drink, so they're not rude enough to actually ask their host?
In that case, this is going perfectly. This is the two of them are so in tune with each other that everything is going exactly the way it should be. So Rose is pouring some Vita into the glasses and hands one over to Mr. Silas. She sits down as well, taking up her glass and making sure that he can see her taking the first sip. Well, I'm not quite sure if there's an easy way to start this conversation. She just glances towards the corner where Dr. Softly is probably standing or sitting or whatever he is doing.
Dr. Softly has positioned himself near Mr. Silas, but if Rose is paying attention, she'll probably notice he's standing in a position where he can keep an eye on the areas Rose can't in the room. She can only have her eyes. Well, she can't look in 360, but it seems Dr. Softly's trying to fill in that gap.
Awesome. Mr. Silas, when is the last time that you heard from Mr. Green or Dr. Softly?
A little while ago, I'm afraid. Did you not receive my message?
I'm sorry, did you send a message?
I sent it out to all of our Camarilla people. I'm afraid Dr. Softly has passed and Mr. Green has been kidnapped. They were betrayed.
Yes, I know. I think that will make our meeting rather, well, unnecessary at this point. But yes, I've heard. Interesting enough.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
Well, it's. And she again glances over to that place quite near Mr. Silas, where Dr. Softly is sitting. Yeah, it's a loss, and let's just say, because she still has her Mighty Syria one up, that he's still close.
Okay.
And she just. Sorry, go ahead.
What can I do for you, Rose?
Well, Dr. Softly asked me to pass this news on to you, that he himself, Mr. Solomon, were killed by Mr. DuPont, and that he took Mr. Green.
Dr. Softly asked you to pass that news on to me.
Okay.
What?
Tell him this. Tell him that after he brought the lupine into the Elysium, I made the lupine a cup of tea and gave it some custard creams. That doesn't seem like something that idly away from conversation to you, does it?
Okay, wow.
And its name was Glasspaw, I believe.
Right. To render any truth to the story that I'm about to tell now, Dr. Softly is just telling me that he gave tea and cookies to
Custard creams
to a lupine who entered the Elysium, and that the lupine's name was Glasspaw.
Also, I'm neither giving him up the major boon he owes me, nor the trivial boon he owes me from the bet on whether I knew what a Kia seed was or not.
What, you're not giving up the boons?
No, I still have a means of talking with him. He still owes me a major and a trivial.
Okay. He wants me to tell you that you still owe him a major and a trivial boon.
Son of a bitch.
He's laughing. He did die, though.
Yeah, I understand. Sorry, this type of a situation, it's a good thing that I brought some extra drinks with me. Really, really strong drinks with me. I'm going to need one. Just one moment.
Well, he seems to take it okay.
I'm sure we'll.
So you're literally being haunted by Dr. Softly's ghost.
Well, it's not that much haunted, I think. I've always been capable of speaking to them, but now I can actually see him. That's new. I don't know if that means I'm haunted or not.
I mean, I've had a few run-ins with Ghost. I've been to the Shadowlands a few times, and it's not like I don't have one haunting one of my buildings. That's besides the matter. How the hell?
I could give him a very long-winded explanation regarding, well, some precedents of it happening before, but I don't
Give
think
me
that's what he's looking for.
a second. Can you ask Dr. Softly if he knows sign language?
I can, but I'm pretty sure that he can just hear you fine.
We can start learning.
He can start learning it.
No, it'll be a matter of mutual communication. So. Mura, Pocket, whereabouts is he standing? Yes, it does spot ghosts.
Oh, geez.
Oh God.
Yeah, so when she indicates the right area, Dr. Softly's going to be waving in the mirror at Mr. Silas.
He's
With a
over
smile
there.
on his face.
Hi. Okay. I'll just put that on the balance it on the the side with the using the glass to balance it, so I can just look into the mirror and see him sitting where he's sitting, and thus can have a kind of strange three-way conversation. Well, I won't be able to hear him, but if he knows sign language, you can use that, and I'll be able to read it through the mirror. If not, if you could just translate for him.
I will.
I'm only so good at reading lips.
I'm pretty sure we can.
Damn, Softly, you lost a lot of weight. Very good dietary program, Death.
He'll smile, patting his belly. He'll kind of raise up the cane, because I really don't think he needs a limp anymore, and he'll you do a little sprightly dance.
Well, it's good to see there's some benefits.
Yeah, I think he's actually enjoying it in some point.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be able to kidnap him again.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, well, you know the Giovanni. I'm sure they'll be interested, so...
Let's hope not.
We keep it secret, keep it hidden, keep it safe.
Mhm.
Oh, well, this is some surprising news, to say the least.
So, yeah. Is there anything that you would need to know, Mr. Cyrus, from Dr. Softly, pointing at the ghost?
Well, Softly, I got given a copy of the videos and everything that happened. That's all been passed along. Tell you what, since, well, you're kind of a friend and you're kind of on the other side, I've been in contact with the higher-ups. They're not particularly happy with the current situation.
Don't bring them to me.
He says not to bring him to him,
It's your problem now.
and that it's now your problem.
I'm resigning. But I thought I should show up. That
Resigning.
wouldn't stop me.
You got any candidates for who to take over as Primogen? You got any worldly remains that you want sorted? Worldly possessions that you need moved?
I
Sorry to completely derail you, but this seems oddly appropriate. Talking about worldly possessions, there's it over somewhere over here. So he starts going through his pockets. There you go, Rose.
She takes it.
Rose,
Looks at
who
it.
spends a lot of time in the library and practically lives there, would notice these appear to be all the keys for the library. Like all of them, like even the restricted text sections.
Well, you don't often see a Key surprised. Now you do.
Yes, it was going to be a little bit of a present for you for your graduation. But I think it's appropriate now. Congratulations. Place is yours.
How did you get this?
I bought the place.
You bought my library?
Well, it wasn't underneath your name, and as did mention a couple of times to Softly, it's a sad state when a kindred does not own their own haven. And so I thought it'd be a nice little present to correct them.
Wow. I don't quite know what to say. There's no way I can repay you for this.
No problem. It was going to be a graduation gift, but it's a little bit early since everything's gone a little bit to hell.
Yeah, I know that feeling. And
Would
she
you-
puts
now
the key
here.
one of her side.
Now that he's here, would you tell him that it's perhaps a few weeks earlier than I expected, but I would like to officially, Dr. Softly, the late Primogen of Clan Bruja, Elder of the Camarilla, would like to release the fledgling known as Rose of Clan Bruja and elevate her to neonate.
I'm not gonna repeat every freaking word you say, but she's repeating it.
And Dr. Sophie just kind of nodding as it, yeah, no, she's saying what I said. She's not cheating.
Fair enough, fair enough. In what case, it is your graduation present then. Congratulations. Would you like some kind of ceremony attached to it, or shall I just say, now rise neonate of the Camarilla?
Although I am a big fan of ceremony, I don't think it's really appropriate at this point, nor necessary.
Yes, well, now rise neonate of the Camarilla. Rose, as a gift of your graduation, you're granted this here domain as this here area as your official domain.
Well, thank you, my seneschal, my sire, and Primogen. It's an honor.
Late Primogen, but, well, a little bit more to be done. But luckily, I don't think there'll be anything interrupting me this time. Get you up to speed on the last few bits.
But yes, your official position that I've noted down is you're officially this library's curator as your new occupation. I'll have the deeds brought over to you by a lawyer. You'll have to sign some paperwork.
I'm familiar with the customs, the details of such a thing.
Now, before I completely derailed myself, I was wondering if the late Dr. Softly had any worldly possessions or details that he needed sorting out.
We already grabbed a book from my office in the safe. The other books are well hidden. But I wouldn't want to dawdle there too long to move them all, leave things die down. So, generally it's okay.
I already have Premier asking if they can jump into your areas.
No. Though, perhaps, I do have one or two volumes that are only a century old. I think one or two that Rose already has a copy of. Maybe we might be nice and give them one.
Passing along everything.
Well, it's nice to get a little bit of a semi-good news in these troubling times. It's good to have you, well, still with us.
Unexpected, but pleasant. I will have to start learning some sign language.
It would be helpful. I can have the bits sent over to you for which style of sign language we're planning to have used. There are several different types around.
I once knew a coterie of Gangrel who used tactical sign language in their operations.
That's the reason I started picking it up, that, and there was a certain death demon that was completely mute that I needed to learn. So we didn't have to use a book.
Dr. Softly just put his hand through one of the just not the expensive books. It'll still always be the cheap some of the cheap books there that just kind of like his hand just like goes through and was like, yes.
You do know I could put something to like help you out with that. You know, modern electronics are an amazing thing. In fact, I mean,
Turn
we
the
might.
page.
I know, but you might. Well, no. He might want to read a book while you're reading another book.
I can just tell her to turn the page.
2
Yeah,
hands.
Well, it's good to see that you're coming up with how the two of you shall work together in this new level of relationship.
It's interesting. I never had such intense contact with a ghost before.
Have you always had contact with ghosts?
Well, I could always hear them.
Well, I've heard rumors of that being quite common around certain kindred, typically Malkavians, but they have a habit of not telling if those voices are real voices or just in their head.
Well, I didn't know. At first, I thought I was crazy, but I once witnessed a suicide, unfortunately, of a woman who jumped off the top of this particular building. And I was very surprised that I could still hear her talking to not specifically me, but someone. So I answered, and well, that scared both her and me, to be quite honest. But yeah, ever since then, I knew that at least I wasn't mad.
Good. Well, at least you're sure of yourself. So, besides, is there any other side things I can throw around? I need everyone prepared, things are moving ahead. Like I said, we're putting the city on a bit of a war footing. With that large batch of, with a nod to Dr. Softly casualties, we've lost a fair chunk of the power of the Camarilla presence in New York, and it's going to be a very different city from here on out. It's going to be a bit more divided. We're going to have to hunker down and hold our areas. It's no longer going to be pretty much free reign of wherever you want to go anymore.
I can understand that. I would like to at this point report that Elena, the child of Mr. Green, is for now staying here.
I completely forgot about the fledgling.
It's okay.
Oof.
She's been informed. She took it hard, but yeah, it's not surprising, but it was no problem.
Let's hope the people that I've sent out are going to be able to bring Green back. We need him back, and well, she's going to need him. I'm sure they have a little bit of a love-hate relationship, but you don't want to be a young flesh like that and suddenly lose your sire once you're only a few weeks in.
I agree. For now, she's here. She's safe, and she has sent out some animals to see if she can track them. Mr. Green or Mr. DuPont, that is.
Okay, good. I've done a few similar bits, and we have a variety of experts. I'm currently having DuPont framed for multiple murders. With the build, I suggest that I know there are a bunch of other people working here. You might be friends with some of them. It might be worth cementing your grip blood bonds if possible. Maybe having some of them as your retainers if you deem them worthy of that level of recruitment. Get this place firmly and ironly underneath your control.
I think I can manage that.
Well, you got Dr. Softly looking over your shoulder. He managed it with a tiny university. I'm sure he can help you out with one library.
I'm pretty sure he can. Also, if there's anything I can help you with, let me know.
We'll keep in touch, especially with some of your unique capabilities. If I manage to capture any of the individuals that we need, you're likely going to be brought in to help out with the interrogations.
I can understand that.
I don't know many of your other capabilities, so you got anything fun to kind of throw on the table?
At this point, she is actually glancing at Dr. Softly. She's looking at him.
Up to you.
No? No. I don't think that whatever I have to give is that interesting. Dr. Softly was teaching me some of the Borgia disciplines, but at this point I have not yet managed to master them as I've been working on Obfuscate, so I'm afraid that other than disabilities, there's little.
If you require further training with obfuscation, I'm likely the best person to help you out in the city. If you've already had a taste of the required bond, then I can probably teach you the specifics without even needing the transfer of blood.
And of course, I don't see why the knowledge can't continue to flow. You'll get the trick of the clan disciplines.
Yeah, maybe I can get. Maybe Dr. Softly can still teach me. That's true.
Well, I mean, like for example, look, you now look like an idealized, perfectly human form of yourself to yourself.
She can't remember ever being normal human. Like she's already gonna freak out.
I'm gonna leave it up to you whether I have to make a frenzy check for this.
I'd say this would be a courage check difficulty 4, because it's gotta be freaky as fuck. Yep. Just imagine if somebody suddenly turned you blue and stretched out and weird.
Here we go. I did not expect to have to open Dice Stream at this point in this freaking scene.
Don't worry, if you botch, you can see the other demonstration.
I'm not botching.
Oh, good. 9 and 10.
So she's just looking, and there used to be big black eyes, which are probably now either tiny human blue-green, whatever color eyes. They just grow wide, and you can definitely see that she's surprised. Something you might not have been capable of seeing while she was still looking the way she should look. Because, wow, that's...
Well, I mean, she'll be very trippy if she looks into a normal mirror, but if she looks into the magic mirror, she'll see herself as normal.
Yeah. I have to get used to this, I think.
Like I said, it takes practice. There's walking unseen, then there's the mask, and then there's the advanced levels.
Hmm. I still have some other stuff to learn as well, but I will keep it in mind. For now, most important thing that I needed to do was to be able to walk outside without being spotted. At least not spotted by normal humans.
Well, didn't you ever put that Christmas gift I gave you to use? Or not quite comfortable using prosthetics?
I'm not that good at applying them, and
Well,
makeup
you ever need to
doesn't.
go for like a normal walk, then give me a call. I can do this for quite a reasonable distance.
Well, Dr. Softly and Mr. Green both actually gave me outfits in which I can kind of hide myself in, either a veil, which Dr. Softly gave me, and actually an entire motorcycle outfit, including helmets, with a motorcycle. Only I don't know how to drive, and I've only been shown it once, so I usually just walk with the thing.
I don't recommend um, riding a motorcycle without, general practice. I mean, we can help you get like licenses and whatnot. That's easy to kind of skirt around the law, but there's skirting around the law, there's skirting around the actual skills required to, not crash and burn.
That's true, but well, for now I manage.
All I recommend is just hiring someone to do it for you.
Might
Yes.
work.
Now, if you excuse me for just a moment, Rose, I've got a incoming call that I need to take. I'll be back momentarily.
It's fine. Take your time. Rose is just looking at Dr. Softly.
Dr. Softly's kind of shaking his head. It's like, really? I thought Mr. Thursday would have at least had the good manners to have a word with you first before. Well, it might not be him. It might be some of the younger ones.
Before what?
Before they wanted to go in and steal all my books.
I've never met Mr. Thursday, nor any other of the Tremere, so they might not even know that I exist.
True, I suppose. He keeps to himself more often than not. Not as sociable as Frank and myself. He's dependable.
Well, that's the most important thing.
No, but it is a important thing.
That's true. So, do you know anything that could be handy for us to actually find Mr. Green?
Well, really, obviously, he was. Let's see. I know what I'd do. He's met with the prince. He knows the prince can summon people using presence. He knows there's likely one or two others in the city who can do such a thing. If I was him, I would have made sure before word had spread to have gotten back with the sheriff very quickly back to Staten Island, to where they are. Told him what happened.
They're on Staten Island.
Of course. The
I see.
anarchists, the Sabbat. But they've been masquerading as anarchists. I think they'll know for sure. Well, they knew beforehand, but they now no longer will be keeping up the pretense. They were trying to get in subtly, and they had a pretty good stab at it, I'll admit. Now, Sister Dare, if I was him, I would, and I am a Ventru, I know, and I've seen the Prince using disability, I know it in my own blood. I'd get them to, probably, if they have a Zambiski or somebody skilled in vicissitude, change my face and appearance in case I run across again, and also to stake me off for at least a period of a week. That's the minimum I'd do in that regard. He would have been moving with Frank in a rush to make sure he's not called back on the way. Carrying Frank would have been a bit of a burden. Perhaps he had a vehicle, we would have made good time. Probably went to the location where they were, so they might be able to track him using traffic cameras and stuff if he was going a direct route. But that said, even the location he's at now probably has been vacated.
I see.
That's what I'd do. Okay. Or he messed up in his assignment. He broke orders, and somebody's diabolized him. A descendant of Hardstadt being would probably make quite the talking point at Sabbat soirees.
Mm-hmm. Very well. I think that can help. I know Elena is pretty dead set on tracking Mr. Green down.
Right, I've returned, sorry, in recent times I'm getting quite a lot of phone calls.
I can understand. Is there anything more you would like to know, Mr. Silas?
Well, what are you planning to do with yourself?
At this point, I'm not thinking in a lot of long-term things. My long-term has always been studying, gaining more knowledge. If it's for short-term, I don't know. At this point, I am technically, I think I'm guarding Elena a little bit. I'll watch over her. I'll inform, hopefully, the rest of the Brugia clan as soon as I get into contact with them. I take it the prince is already informed of all this?
It's being passed along. The prince has his own operations he's working on.
Very well. Well, we need to sort things out within the clan again. So, I don't know what role I can play in that. After all, although I'm accepted as Brugia, many will still look at me strangely, and I cannot blame them for that.
Well, if you need any help or support, or even extra hands around here, make sure that you're safe. I'm willing to provide.
Actually, could you ask him to do one thing when Victor Solomon is death recorded? Maybe not say to his sire, but the day before he came to me, after all the disarray and regarding the Toreador, and he requested to join the Brugia. I told him to take time to consider it, but I think perhaps, given his debt, that wish should be respected in the, whatever role of losses we end up taking.
She passes it along to Mr. Silas.
You good? Right, I was going to make another comment, but I failed my occult roll, so I'm not going to make it.
Ooh.
Oh, that's Dr. Softly. I know things. He's a kindred door. I've got kindred door.
No, this was a cult related to ghosts. Oh god, I'm going to have to start adding Wraith Lord to my list.
I'm not a wraith. I'm not a wraith. Just a ghost. I'm a spectre. I'm whatever. I'm a spirit. He's a spirit mentor.
You are definitely not a spectre. You are not a spectre.
I don't really know what that entirely is. It's okay.
The spectres are oblivion-tainted ghosts.
Oh, okay. Well, definitely not one of them.
Right, well, it's good receiving this news. It's been a good meeting. I'm going to have to move on and get to some of the other operations and adjustments.
I understand, and once more, if you need my help, please don't hesitate to call. And should you need, for whatever reason, Dr. Softly's help, please do not hesitate to call.
Yeah. Do you want me to send down one of my ghouls to provide you some extra security, or are you happy sorting that out all on your own?
Well, you have seen part of my security.
That's for people arriving. This place has several entry points to it.
Yes, exactly. And trust me, I will know when someone is toiling at one of my doors.
I suspect he's making an excuse for my new PC to be able to do scenes when he's not around.
Yeah.
Is he walking around a golf club?
Party.
Yeah. I am not a bouncer. Why did he send me?
I wouldn't mind having a ghoul. I just don't know really. I never had a ghoul before, so I don't quite know what to do with it. But
Well, I had all those bits. It's just basically, I might be sending some people down to check up on you and maybe hang around here on, especially when things are a little bit heightened up. I might get some armed people to make sure that if someone does try to sneak in, there are armed people ready to beat them down with very large sticks.
thank you very much, Mr. Silas. That's appreciated.
Well, I'm always willing to beat people down with very large sticks for you. Miss Rose, you are one of those special features of New York that help make this place special.
You flatter me.
But thank you very much for the drink. I must be off.
Very well. I'll walk you to the door. And she will actually. And she will, before you, or after you left, I will have to, unless you really want to say something else besides goodbye, nice meeting you, blah, 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 blah. I will have to make a roll again to make sure that my freaking ward will be up again.
And as he leaves, you're back to normal.
Thank you.
No manners.
Well, that
All
was
the
pretty well
successes.
done. That's all
Wow.
they said.
Oh, that's a quality award.
No. I forgot. It's difficulty 7. But still.
4 successes.
Yep. Let's see. For a month.
You're gonna remove that in 10 minutes though.
Yeah. That's the downside that everybody has to walk through. Well, whatever.
Anyways, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of Dr. Softly's Ghost. What will happen on the next episode? Dun, 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 dun.